How do you stimulate some missionary zeal? In the earlier segments, we considered the nature of mission, why you need it in the enterprise, how you can detect that it's missing, and how it gets lost. In this segment, we'll look at how you can set about rebuilding some missionary zeal for your enterprise. If you are a leader, the first step is finding it in yourself. The second is creating shared energy in your leadership team, the people closest to you. Generally, unless you plan a popular coup of some kind, only when you've done steps 1 and 2 can you take the third step and engage people across the broader organisation and the world at large. So let's start with you. If you have been in the same enterprise for a long time, your sense of mission can get tired, and that's natural. I also suspect, though I've no science behind this, that mission comes easier to the young than their elders. I haven't heard of people taking their midlife crisis on jihad. I don't have a magic wand for the world weary, but these tips might help. Take more care of yourself. You need energy. Do as your partner says. Take your vacation and turn the phone off. If you habitually ration your sleep, indulge yourself. If you have a baby in the house at the moment or you care for someone through the night, I probably just made you swear. I apologise. Keep up the good work. Set time aside for personal research. Reading around your subject will remind you why you originally thought it exciting. Make some room for safe, positive conversation. In the context of work, find a listener who will not judge you, but who can challenge assumptions or habits and seek to affirm positivity. When your friends or partner cannot do this, find a coach who can. Go back to basics. Make time to talk to your customers and spend time with the frontline workers of your enterprise. Their pain should be your energy. If there are younger people in your organisation who show zeal, find a pretext to mentor them. Their zeal may well be misdirected, but it's probably infectious. Listen to them and try to think before you rebut their suggestions with world-weary responses. You might relearn something you had forgotten. Search out good behaviour and publicly celebrate it. If that all sounds unworldly to you, this may help. A newly appointed CEO at Microsoft, a company that has suffered with chronic mission deficit, quoted a poem by T.S. Eliot in explaining his direction. He used the poetry to explain how he was coaching his organisation to rediscover the shared sense of purpose that had existed when the company was young. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and to know the place for the first time. It's a sophisticated piece of writing, but Eliot is urging us to recover a refreshed view of something too easily taken for granted. Literally, we are talking about refreshment to provide energy. In quoting Eliot, Dr. Nadella was acknowledging that Microsoft had consumed its early sense of mission and had not refreshed or replaced it. A corporatist obsession with maximising the worth of Microsoft's monopoly encouraged management to forget that the core mission was to lower the cost of computing. In the end, Microsoft users escaped its clutches by buying tablets and phones using iOS or Android. Many people then asked whether the world still needed Microsoft at all. Unless Dr. Nadella could help the company rediscover a sense of purpose that engaged its customers, Microsoft's history was probably a lot brighter than its future. As an individual, you may have to undertake some similar rediscovery of your own mission. Once you've refreshed yourself, you may have to dig deep with your leadership team. You need to create some openness and honesty to find out why your people really come to work and what keeps them there. You must ask openly, not lead, which may be hard for a leader. If you tell them what you think and then ask their opinion, they may give you the answer they think you want. That's not the answer you need. So the questions have to be open, numerous and repetitive to tease out the real feelings. Once you know the truth, you have to instill appropriate motivations and get everyone aligned. If you are naturally a top-down sort of person, this patient interaction with subordinates may be difficult for you. It's your instinct to instruct. In that case, you have a couple of options that I've seen work. You can bring in someone else to work with your team to flush out what really turns them on, but you may have to accept some change yourself in order to meet the team coming. This won't be easy, but done correctly, you will gain insight of yourself and the respect of your team. Or you have to change the team to people who do share your mission. If you go down this second route, take care. There are many people out there who are good at mirroring but who lack conviction. Large corporations are full of plausible incompetents who sustain themselves by mirroring the views and vanities of authority. Once you've shared a sense of mission with your team, the strongest weapons you have by far are integrity and consistency. If your actions and those of your team consistently reflect the shared mission, you will find that most people in the enterprise engage on your terms. They will instinctively recognise that they can trust authority and will start to take greater responsibility for themselves. You do have to communicate your sense of mission. You may even have to sweat over a mission statement for the office wall, but you don't have to be a brilliant coach. You can buy in this help. So if performing the speech from Henry V doesn't come naturally, don't worry. On the other hand, most leaders assume they're great coaches and most aren't. So take a cold, hard look at how people respond when you are on your soapbox and don't kid yourself. If they smile politely but don't seem energized, you may want some coaching yourself. Also, look very closely at the rewards and sanctions in the enterprise. Are these consistent with the mission? If not, alarm bells should be ringing in your head. Is it just that you have outgrown the old rewards and sanctions, or have you been kidding yourself as to the real mission of the enterprise? It's easy to say that your mission is the welfare of the elderly, but if you then bonus the salesman who sold your grandmother, there would seem to be a question of integrity. Changing sanctions and rewards is hard work. You come up against vested interests, but if people in the company see you tackling this and understand why, you will win support for the mission. If they see you ducking tough choices, you will lose support. In the end, everything you and your team do is subliminally educating the enterprise. What lessons are you hoping to give? In the next segment, I will take a small diversion. I will try to answer a question put to me when I first gave this talk, whether the profit motive can provide sufficient mission or whether profit is the result of some more basic motivational zeal.